Okay. Good morning, everybody. I will give the floor to Mercè Rius, Director General for Environmental Quality and Climate Change from the Government of Catalonia, who will address you some welcome words. Please, Mercè.
Thank you, Mireia. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome everybody to the webinar on circular economy in the plastics and chemical sectors. This webinar is part of the Circular SMEs virtual tour that will bring us to different places of Europe to talk about circularity in different economic sectors. As you all know, we are facing global economic, environmental, and social challenges, and making our economy circular is crucial. It's crucial for achieving a climate-neutral, resource-efficient, competitive, and inclusive system in alignment with the Green Deal. Having this in mind, as a public administration, we are aware that we must fulfill the following functions. First, build a shared vision for resilient recovery based on net zero emissions and circular economy. Second, to stimulate our economies by creating suitable ecosystems for business, boost entrepreneurship and drive innovation with a view to speeding up the transition to a circular economy, while at the same time supporting micro, small and medium enterprises to join this transition so that no enterprise is left behind. And third, unlock circular investment opportunities in order to meet key public priorities. Webinars like the one of today that seek to encourage exchange among companies, especially these small and medium enterprises, and public entities around Europe, are clear actions that respond to these functions and place Europe at the forefront of circular economy. Examples of some Catalan companies are going to be presented today, together with a business case from Germany and the Netherlands. Catalonia has a circular innovation hub, Catalonia Circular, that aims to stimulate the demand of circular solutions and to facilitate the scalability of successful initiatives. I encourage you to visit the hub and get to know more examples of successful circular projects in Catalonia, from private to public and also collaborative projects. And of course, we invite you all to the Circular Economy Hotspot that will take place in Catalonia from the 15th until the 18th of November this year. Not to delay more the start of the webinar, I wish you all a very inspiring session and also encourage you to use the B2B platform to get the most of this virtual tour across Europe. Thank you very much and have a nice webinar.
Thank you very much, Mercè. It has been a pleasure to have you with us today. So let's start our webinar with a video that introduces us to the circular economy in Catalonia and the companies that are going to be with us today. As you will see, they will share the circularity potential of the plastic and the chemical sector.
Catalonia was one of the first territories to have a circular economy strategy back in 2015. Since then, different policy instruments, including support funds and financial lines to company, research and technological center and municipality, has been developed for the government to encourage a circular and climate-neutral economy. Among them, it's remarkable the role of the Innovation Hub Catalonia Circular, a meeting point for companies and other entities to showcase best practices and collaborative projects, which some of them will be visited during the Circular Economy Hotspot in November this year.
Circular economy is a new scenario that is going to bring to the economy a lot of value and is going to create three positive impacts. The first one for the planet, because we are going to bring out innovative products that is going to help to reduce pollution and to be sustainable with the environment. Then for profit, because this economy will bring us to new business model and new scenarios of business that are going to generate economic value. And then for people, because among all the things I've said, we're going to create new jobs for people that are going to bring out this circular economy. So that's the best positive impact that the economy could have, and the economy will be circular or it won't be.
A couple of years ago, our founder Marcella Hansch went on a diving trip to Cape Verde, and she was attacked by something. But it wasn't a fish, it was a plastic bag. Since then, she couldn't close her eyes from all pollution around her, in the water and on land. And from this moment, from this image in her mind, she created Everwave, which is today a social business with a holistic approach, combining technology and the inspiration of people towards a sustainable future. If we're able to close the loop and circulate used materials, we'll be able to strengthen our economy and protect the environment. We'll be able to give new meaning to what has been consumed. Waste becomes a resource.
With Circular Clockworks, we want to show the world what the potential is of recycled plastics, that you can bring them back in a very high quality products and not only downcycle them. Plastics are a valuable material and can be very, very versatile in its use, and therefore also the quality of that use. And with the watch, I think we achieved one of the highest potential values the material could have, where we are the example for other companies to show what companies can do with their recycled, upgraded materials. I think that is, as far as a startup can go, is to inspire bigger companies to actually do the same and start using more and more recycled resources.
We manufacture these phone cases made from fishing nets and scrap aluminium. I am here to explain to you our initiative of taking back our phone cases to crush them and recycle them again. It is really circular economy in action, and it is not only necessary for our planet, but it is also very interesting for all the companies.
This webinar will present successful transformation in chemical industries and startups to improve in circularity. These sectors provide sustainable solution and economic saving not only in the sector itself but also to other sectors and receptors of chemical products like plastics. Therefore, these sectors offer a wide range of opportunities and innovation in materials and processes in areas like waste prevention, plastic reuse and recycling, and alternative to common plastic uses. I wish you all a very successful webinar and matchmaking event during these virtual tours.
Now, Maria Pasalacqua, director of the EMAS Club in Catalonia, will present circular projects from the EMAS Club and companies. She cannot be here with us today, but you can contact her through the B2B platform.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting the EMAS Club to this event. My name is Maria Pasalacqua. I'm the director of the EMAS Club. The EMAS Club is a private non-for-profit organization that was created in 2006, and our members are EMAS registered organizations from different sectors. Within our projects, we interact with many other interested parties, such as the public administration, NGOs, universities, and of course non-EMAS registered organizations from different sectors. Thanks to this interaction, I think that one of the main achievements over these 15 years has been to establish a solid public-private partnership to promote EMAS in our region and also to boost the environmental performance of our EMAS community. I will explain you how we started working on circular economy projects, and then I will present you 2 case studies from the chemical and the plastic sector. So in 2012, we carried out a project addressed to establish synergies between companies and NGOs, and we saw that, of course, these NGOs needed financial support for their projects, but also materials. And at the same time, companies were discarding materials that could be a resource for those projects. At that point, we started collecting detailed information not only about the waste generated by our members, but also data and samples of specific materials that were included in those waste streams. This allowed us to better understand the availability of materials and find a way to reuse them by extracting them from the waste stream in which they were previously included. As a result of this project, various companies, NGOs, schools, and other types of organizations were able to cover part of the resource needs with the reused materials. But we realized that we had to go a step further, and we began to look for more articulated synergies between our members. This is the result of the first upcycling project. It's a really cool design lamp, and 3 organizations were involved. A company from the electronics sector that generated the waste that was later used as a raw material to create the lamps, a designer, and a social organization that is the one that manufactures the lamps. And another example is this one. This project is still in progress, and it involves the Catalan healthcare sector and another social enterprise for the upcycling of textile waste. The project foresees the creation of usable textile products for the healthcare centers and thus reduce the demand of other types of resources. And now let's talk about the plastic and chemical sectors. Our first case study is Amplatter. This is a company, it's a flexible packaging converter and a polyethylene manufacturer. Located in Girona, in the province of Girona, north from Barcelona. The main achievements of this company in relation to circular economy are related to air emissions and the recovery of resources. Particularly, we'll talk about 2 flows. One, on the one hand, the emissions of VOCs derived from the use of solvents, and on the other, waste stream. In relation to the VOC emissions, the number 1 you see in my slides, in 2006, the company installed and commissioned a solvent recovery plant with the aim of capturing and treating through a distillation process the emissions from all extraction points along the production process. It is worth mentioning that the company took this step well in advance before the VOC regulations came into force in Spain, and the plant went into operation 1 year before it was mandatory. This allowed the company to better manage the transition from a technical operational and economic point of view, and of course, it also allowed a better investment planning. Thanks to the solvent recovery plant, Emplator reduced 80% of its VOC emissions, and of these 80% of emissions avoided and treated in the plant, there was still a 20% of solvent-containing waste that was generated and that could not be reused internally. So this was treated externally by a waste contractor, and therefore requires still transportation and to the waste treatment plant. In global terms, with this entire process, about 64% of the solvents were actually reused. And this means, of course, less tanker trucks needed. It went from 1 a week to approximately 1 a month. Less consumption of solvents as raw material, and of course, economic savings. So this is the picture after the implementation of the solvent recovery plant. But later, in 2018, the company carried out an improvement to the solvent treatment process. It installed a new dehydration unit at the process, and the process changed from a 3-column distillation to a 1-column distillation process that allowed it a further reduction of VOC's emissions and also energy savings. And since then, it has reached a reduction of around 95% of VOC's emissions. So the emissions of VOCs is nearly 5% of the total, either in the form of diffuse, fleeting, or direct emissions. Moreover, also the solvent-containing waste has been further reduced to less than 10%. And as a result, 85% of all solvents are actually reused today in the company. Regarding the second flow we mentioned at the beginning, the remnants of used inks, before 2006, the waste was transported and managed in an external waste plant. In 2006, since the solvent recovery plant was available, this waste went to a treatment plant for a pre-treatment and then returned to Emplator to enter the recovery plant. And after that, the solvent was reused in the production process. Finally, in 2019, a distillation unit was installed, and this allowed the company to treat the waste internally. So now it reuses the output in the production process. And due to these activities, transport and waste have been dramatically minimized. And finally, the company is working on a third waste stream, the plastic waste from its production process. And this is a real challenge for the sector because there are many difficulties in transforming the material to reuse it in the same production process, since the final product, being in contact with food, has a series of technical requirements that it must meet. But thanks to the project that is currently in process, the material could be transformed in order to obtain a food-approved certification. I cannot give you more details about this project because it is still in progress, but in my presentation you will find the contact details of Mr. David Fernandez, which is the environmental manager of the company, and you can contact him if you would like to receive further information. And the next case study I'm presenting you is Transformadora de Etileno, TDE. It is a low-density polyethylene manufacturer. It involves approximately 60 employees plus an external staff of around 50 people. It is located in the province of Tarragona, south of Barcelona, within a very important chemical industry area. The company was initially created as a joint venture by two large companies in the chemical sector, Dow Chemical and Repsol, that had common productive and economic interests. This has determined the peculiar configuration of its production and commercial processes. Indeed, TDE receives the ethylene, its raw material, from the two mentioned organizations. It transforms it, and then it sells the low-density polyethylene to the same companies. So it only has two customers. TDE has two main examples of circular economy regarding two emission sources. On the one hand, low-pressure steam, and on the other hand, the purge of ethylene gas that contains impurities. With regard to the first stream of emissions, low pressure steam, this is a considerable source of thermal energy that was previously emitted into the atmospheres. Currently, and thanks to the synergies between the company and another company, neighboring company in the same industrial area, the low pressure steam is sent to this second company that reuses it in its production process. And this second company is now covering approximately 50% of its steam needs thanks to this action. This is a win-win operation as the neighboring company purchases steam at a lower price, and TDE, in addition to reducing its emissions, has an extra income from this thermal energy source. And now I will show you a simple scheme of the production process so that we can better understand the second source of emission. First, the ethylene gas is compressed, and from here it goes to the reaction phase, later to the separation stage, and finally to the extrusion process in which the polyethylene pellets are obtained. And it's here within the separation stage that approximately 75% of the gas is recirculated and re-entered the process to be compressed again. Okay? But as ethylene gas contains impurities, part of it must be discarded. And this is why we have this gas purge. So through another collaboration within the same industrial state, instead of burning this gas containing impurities, TDE sends it to a neighboring company that uses it in its combustion boiler, becoming a resource. And clearly this is also a win-win collaboration, as it represents a reduction of about 10% in the consumption of natural gas for the recipient company, and in the case of TDE, the reduction of air emissions, and again, an income from this transaction. Well, this is all from my side. Thank you, and have a nice circular economy journey. Goodbye.
Okay, after the overview of successful transformation in chemical industry from the EMAS Club, now we are going to start a roundtable with successful startup in the world of circularity for plastics. During this presentation, you can use the Q&A menu to address questions to the panelists. And we will try to answer some of the questions at the end of the roundtable. So I will present, first of all, Tilman Fleur, CTO and co-founder of Everwave from the North Rhine-Westphalia. Tilman, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction, and hello from Belgrade. We're currently on a cleanup mission here in Serbia, and I'm very happy to share some of our insights on that and about our organization. So you should see our presentation now. So what is Everwave all about? Our slogan is "Be part of the solution," because we believe that circular economy is not, or one company is not the silver bullet for all, but we need a couple or hundreds of companies that are dedicated to circular economy. So this is probably one of the most important things. We have to work together to get hold of this problem and solve it. I want to share our vision with you. So we are working towards a responsible society for a healthy environment. In our case, especially healthy oceans and everything that is connected with it. So rivers, seas, but also with the people that depend on these very valuable ecosystems. And our mission is concretely to clean rivers and protect the sea from plastic waste through our two pillars. This is on the one hand side, technological innovation, and on the other hand, ecological inspiration, and all this towards a sustainable future. So what can you understand under technological innovation, which is mainly represented by me? And what can you understand under ecological inspiration, which is mainly represented by our founder, Marcela Hansch? Technological innovation comprises cleanup technologies recycling, but also gaining a better understanding of the problem through the application of artificial intelligence, but also the gathering of data. And on the other hand, ecological inspiration comprises PR events, being creative in communication, and to get people motivated in a more sustainable lifestyle, to actually live a circular life. And what you see on this slide is our whole idea. So the goal is to close the loop. What you can see in the upper picture is a city. A lot of people come together. If we have insufficient management systems, if we have insufficient infrastructure, the material eventually ends up in the environment, and not seldom lands in rivers, and the river transport the material to the open ocean. But we want to intercept the material already in the rivers. So we want to stop the material there to prevent it to enter the oceans, where it's really hard to extract again. And how do we do it? We have two cleanup technologies. The first one is a passive platform system that you can see in this part. It looks like honeycombs, and it's a modular system that can be adapted to different river systems, because no river is the same. And it works like this. It is anchored in a certain spot in the river. It takes up the material that flows with the current and stores it until it gets removed, either by simple technologies or simple systems like fisher boats, or by our other technology, the garbage collection boat Collectix, which you have already seen in the video. So what's the great advantage of Collectix? It's a very flexible and efficient solution. It can take up 2.5 tons of material per tour. It has a very shallow bottom, so it can also enter places that are hardly to access, like these urban canals that you can see here. And experiences show, under ideal circumstances, you can take up to 25 tons of material per day. It takes about half an hour per tour. So this is our experience from the Balkan region currently. And what do we do? In addition to that, I mentioned artificial intelligence and data. So you can see a drone in the lower part of the picture. In cooperation with our partner, the German Research Center for Artificial Intelligence, we want to gain a better understanding beforehand. So what's the situation in the environment? Where are the hotspots? Where do we have to deploy the boats? And the artificial intelligence, the algorithm, understands what we will find in the water in all these hotspots. So what's the composition, how much organic materials, how many food containers, and bottles, etc.
Sorry, Tidman, you have 1 minute left.
I will hurry up, I'm almost done. So in addition to what we're doing with the drones, we'll also use cameras on our boats. So we're not just taking up trash, but also the data that is connected with the materials. So we'll get a better understanding, and finally we'll be able to close the entry pathways in cooperation with local communities. And now this is probably most important or most interesting part for this section. What will happen afterwards? Currently, we're working with local communities and local recyclers, and we're trying to promote the circular economy on land. And this is a huge challenge for this year. So we're working towards decentralized system, because we believe the whole system will only work if we can prevent the material to enter the waterways in the first place. We need a strong circular economy on land. So this is very important, and I believe also very strong message for this round. Nevertheless, we are gaining time for the whole process to become reality. So I'll skip to the next slide and finish my presentation. Looking forward to their questions.
Thank you very much, Tilman. It has been a really nice presentation. I'm afraid we don't have more than 5 minutes per each panelist. So now it's the turn of Maria José Pedragosa, social entrepreneur and co-founder of Popsicase and NetViva. She's coming from Catalonia. Please, Maria José, the floor is yours.
Hello, Mireia. Okay, this is me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting us. Yes, I am here to talk about our story. It started, this journey 6 years ago when we patented this invention. This is a phone case with a handle. So we wanted to do it right. We wanted to manufacture in minimizing our ecological footprint. So we decided to do it here in Barcelona and even with a recycled material. So we discovered something very interesting. We could use fishing nets to make recycling material. And we, after a long search, we identified the actors that provide this material. First of all, it was the fishermen who arrived in port with their catches, but also with a lot of waste that break the nets. So they had to leave all the nets in ports, amounts and amounts of nets. After that, there are the collectors and the classifiers who collect the nets in 17 ports in Catalonia, and then they wash it, they cut it, and they prepare it to do a long journey to the Basque Country where the plastic, the nylon of the nets is melted and it becomes a pellet, really a polyamide that we used for our cases. We branded all this process because there are a lot of actors, you know, fishermen, collectors, etc., as Net Viva. And we used this polyamide very successfully. If you go to our website, popsycase.com, you will see we have a very good feedback from our customers, and we were very okay. We were right until last year that we discovered something really impressive. We realized that some people were buying popsicles again. So we were asking, wondering, okay, what are they doing with the old popsicles? So we thought, okay, what if we make them return the popsicles again and we can reuse it again? So we asked our injector in Barcelona, and he told us that this piece of plastic, we could crush it and convert it into pellet again and inject it again. So in this, we discovered a circular economy action that we launched last year. We invited our customers to after 2 years of using, maybe they changed the phone model. So invited them to take them to send us back. And the result is really incredible. So we began to receive this, let me see. Okay, I am going to share the, okay, this here, okay, sorry. We received from the, there is not something, a ver, compartir la pantalla. Okay, okay. We received them. We began to receive the popsicles. We received more than, you know, we are a very small startup, but we received more than 70, and we are receiving from now today, we are receiving popsicles. Customers paid for this, and they received also a 25% discount. And the good news is that 90% of them bought popsicles again. So the method of taking back, it works. Let me please, now we discovered a really closed loop. So the thing is, we collect the fishing nets, not only from ports, but also from ghost fishing nets. We are collaborating with certain NGOs. Then we classify and treat them. We convert them into Net Viva material, that it is polyamide. And then we, we make an object with this material, and then the consumer has the object. After this old object can come back again with 3 things that really makes this successful. First of all, we made the consumer think that he's doing it right. Second, we also recover the material and we generate a loyalty from the customer. So with this idea of circular looping, I want just to give you 3 ideas. First,
Maria Jose, sorry, you have 1 minute left.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's just first idea. If you are a brand or a manufacturer, you have to think to make objects thinking in the return. Second, circular economy is really profitable because users are increasingly asking and demand transparency, and they want their objects to be recycled. And third one and last one is that really we will demonstrate, we will prove that plastics are not bad. The only bad is our single-use, the single use we are doing, humans beings like the stupid of plastics, because plastics are good. So I invite you to join us, because we wanted to make this turn back more global. I invite you to go to netviva.net, join, or popsicase.com. You will see all the videos, everything you want because I think that circular economy processes must be something that has to be done in collaboration. So thank you very much, Mireia, and everybody to let me explain this project.
Thank you very much, Maria Jose, for this enthusiastic presentation. Okay, now it's we have the third panelist, who is Cyril Locker, who is the founder from Circular Clockworks, and he's coming from the Netherlands. So please, Cyril, it's your turn. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having us today and this morning. Welcome to everybody. Yeah, I want to. I'm glad to share Circular Clockworks today, a brand we actually launched exactly 5 years ago with the goal. You already saw it in the video. Yes. That we saw that we use a lot of plastics every day, and most of them in a very wasteful way, just disposable plastics, packagings. And to us, it gave the material a very low-end feeling, because the only thing you do with plastics is just throwing them in a bin. While it is a very versatile material, you can do things which are very difficult to achieve with other materials like metals or wood. So the options, the material itself is very interesting to use, and also in some ways, if you use it right, very sustainable. The only thing is that we often use it in a very unsustainable and wasteful way. So that was the starting point for us. We wanted to solve that, or at least be part of the solution of improving the image of plastics to the consumers, because we think if the consumers are more aware of the possibilities of recycling plastics, that it can be in a very high quality way, the plastics itself will get a better image as well. And we wanted to use that in a way that we also educated or showed people what the potential of circular economy is, because for us 5 years ago it was a very vague concept. It was promising, but how to really put it into practice, when can you say, okay, this product is 100% circular, or was not, and what design features do you need to make a product circular or not really on the market. So we tried, we decided, okay, we want to do a watch, first of all, because it's a way that people show the product to other people, so you get an interesting community feeling, like you can really show and be a patriot for the circular economy, and also because it's a very high end product. If you don't achieve the right quality, people won't wear it. So if you get to wear your watch made from recycled materials, you will do you must do a great job. So we did a lot of experiments with an own injection machine and molds, 3D prints, and to achieve in the end this result: a watch made from recycled consumer plastics, from fridges, TVs. It's from the black parts. We get the plastics from a bigger plastic recycler in the Netherlands, Coolrec, part of it's a daughter company of Renewy, a very big recycling company. And the colored parts are made from grinded safety helmets, which have to be discarded after a number of years, also due to safety reasons. But then the plastic itself is still very pure and very good to reuse. So what you see is not only a product from mostly recycled materials. That's not only what the circular economy is. Circular economy is, I took this image from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, showing the technical cycle of the butterfly diagram, which shows a number of elements of the circular economy. And what we did with Circular Clockworks, to show consumers what the circular economy could be, is to show different types, the different elements in our watch. So the material choices are clear, but also we designed the watch to be disassembled completely. We don't use glue. We don't glue different materials onto each other, and we minimize the amount of different materials. Well,
sorry, Cyril, sorry, you have 1 minute left.
That's correct. Which allows, the design for disassembly allows also to maintain that you can repair your product. And then it also makes sense to get back, just like the last speaker, to buy back or give discount to your product to get it back, because you can assemble it and recycle and reuse it again. And most importantly also is to think in systems that you use the existing systems, because you can think of a whole new product which is completely apart from the existing infrastructure. Like, for example, how you ship it as small as possible with the already in place shipment possibilities, so you can use the options already available. So that's it. For more information, I will kindly invite you to our website, and you can always send me an email. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Cyril. It has been really interesting and really nice clocks. Okay, and now, last but not least, it's the turn of Patricia Ima, who is the Executive President and CTO of the Envirotech, and she's coming from Catalonia. Patricia, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for inviting me here to this circular economy event. I'm going to explain about the company we have, that is Envirotech, and what we do is to go from waste from value. So we are a biotechnological startup that produce bioplastics using bacteria, like this one you see in the picture. This white dot inside is the bioplastic that we can make the bacteria produce. So plastics from bacteria are similar in characteristics to petroleum plastics, and also are biodegradable in the environment and compatible with human body. The amazing thing is that we obtain these bioplastics feeding bacteria with organic wastes, such as food waste, or agro-industrial wastes, such as sewage sludge or pig slurry. So our customers are agri-food companies that give us organic waste, and we transform it into the bioplastic that we reintroduce to the market with several applications, such as packaging, 3D 3D impression and biomedicine. So how do we do it? So this is the EnviroTech process. We have 2 steps. Step 1, that is the B-box, is the biotechnological step for having a bacteria full of bioplastic. And step 2, that is the B-out, that is the extraction of the bioplastic. So EnviroTech achieved the transformation of the organic waste into bioplastic thanks to this technology, that is the B-box. The B-box is installed there where the waste is generated in the customer facilities inside of a maritime container, as you can see in the picture, and which allows obtaining a bacteria full of bioplastic in a fast 1-day process. Then these bacteria are transported to EnviroTech facilities to perform the extraction of the bioplastic with another technology that is called B-out. This extraction is already patented with our process that is using green solvents. So what's the fact, or what's the key part of our business model? So we decentralize PHA production into our customer facilities to achieve a specialization in the bacterial cultures to the organic waste of our customers, then to work in a standardized ways like in plug and play containers, and we have also the ability to grow as our clients grow. Okay, so working this way, we can reduce transport costs in 70% because we only transport bacteria with bioplastic, but without water. And then we centralize the extraction phase, so we can just control the chemical process and to optimize the OPEX costs that are the ones that are the bottleneck in the process for the cost of the bioplastic. Okay, so that's our business model, and we have 2 revenues. We have the organic waste management as a service, that is the B-box, and what we do is to charge monthly a price per ton of waste treated. Depending on the company, we make a business plan for them, depending on what they are paying. Okay, so on average, they have a 40% of discount working with us. And then we have the B0 plastic cell, that is the brand of our plastic. So we work with several companies to put this plastic on the market. Also, we have a circular economy solutions for companies. And yeah, you can see that the price is quite different than the one that is in the market. So we have a production yield between 30 and 41% of B0 plastic from fresh waste. And right now we have already closed contracts with this type of companies like Calidad Pascual and Bonaria. And we also have developed a pilot with Nestlé. So our mission as a company is to improve life quality on the earth through the preservation of the environment. As I said in the previous video, we aim to achieve a value for people, planet, and also for profit, because it's important for continue with the economy and society. So we are really on the sustainable development goals, and we tackle number 12, that is the one that is our first objective to reduce and to be on the circular economy. And I'm Patricia, and I will be glad to answer questions if you have one.
Thank you, Patricia. You really stick to the 4-minute speak, so thank you very much, and thank you for your very interesting presentation. So, since the questions have been answered through the Q&A menu, we take the advantage to ask all the 4 panelists the same questions. If you can use 1 or 2 minutes to answer, we will appreciate. So we would like to ask you that all of you are startup or recently created companies with an innovative business. So did you receive private or public funding to develop your idea? It would be very nice to hear the different experience among the territories which are here represented. Are the existing support funds encouraging enough circular economy? So I will give the floor to Tilman. Please, Tilman, do you have, what do you think about?
Yes, I can comment on that. So it all started, or we started as an NGO. So we raised, especially in the beginning, especially donations, and we moved to private funding, especially from companies and partnerships and so on. Public funding is honestly scarce. It's very difficult to for us to receive public funding. We are part of a European project, Horizon 2020, and this is probably the most important funding, but the main source is private.
Yeah, I will also say that
yes,
we have.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. We have had a private investment, and also that is the biggest funds we have had. And also we have public funding from Europe, and especially also for the government of Catalonia, because they have an initiative called Nucleus of a circular economy. And we have also participated in that public funding.
Thank you, Patricia. Maria Jose, yes.
Yeah, in our case, we began in 2016. So investors were very focused in tech startups, and so a manufacturing project like us, it was not so attractive. Nevertheless, we got private investment because there were some people who really trust on us, and it is. I agree with Coleman that it's really difficult to get some public investment. Anyway, nowadays, I think it's different. I think the whole world is focused on circular economy, so that's why we are going to try again about public funding.
Thank you very much, Cyril. Yes,
yeah, for me, the situation, I was a student back then, and I had the luck that our university was stimulating these types of projects. So we got a small funding from them and a private fund related to it. And the rest we funded with our own crowdfunding, which was quite possible for us for a concrete product, which can be different from services. And in that way, we also saw was a test for us to see if there is actually a demand for such a product back then, as a test case.
Okay, thank you to everybody. And to close the session, because we have to close it before 11, I would say in one sentence, what is your recommendation or aspect to take into account for a company that wants to be more circular or be born as a circular startup? You can use.
I think the most important is that you think your whole idea through and all the impacts of the whole system, and not only if you try to design a product only the day you sell it, but also the day you will receive it, and what will you do with it then. Think of it directly when you start designing.
My recommendation would be just don't give up. Just keep on. You will find several difficulties, but never give up.
I will say that they have to make an analysis of what is the key points for putting profit or giving profit to people, planet, and also the environment.
And to the things already said, I would like to add, dare to make mistakes, learn, never give up, and think things through, talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yes, we just received a question for Patricia, who is, are you able to produce other materials different from PHA? Are you open to produce to third parties?
We are able to produce also a huge quantity of volatile fatty acid that are a product that is also used in the chemical industry, but I will say that we are really focused on the PHA because there's our market and we know that it's a big value for us. And I don't know what you mean with if we are open for third parties, but maybe if you make an email and we can just have a call on that, we can answer properly the question.
Thank you very much to all of you. I don't know, no, there is no more questions. You know that if any questions from your side remains, do not hesitate to contact directly through the email, also through the B2B platform of these events. At the end of the webinar, Maria will explain you a bit more how it works. So thank you very much to all the panelists. It has been a really appealing roundtable. So now it's time to announce that we are having a new partner to these projects. This is Zero Waste Scotland, and we have the Chief Executive Officer, Ian Gulland, to address us some words. So please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mirella. Thank you. Hopefully you can all hear me. And thank you for the welcome. Thank you for allowing us to gate crash your tour. We're obviously delighted to be here, virtually at least, and look forward to many more travels with you all in the future. So I'm sure everybody hopefully is aware who we are, Zero Waste Scotland. We are Scotland's circular economy experts. We continue to work to accelerate the circular economy in Scotland. We have a wide-ranging programme of activity to support the transition, very much based on a national strategy that was launched by our Scottish Government in 2016. We now work with we have a programme to work with businesses. We work with over 240 individual companies who are exploring, developing and adopting new business models in a range of sectors, including plastics and chemicals, but also food and drink, manufacturing, even in the energy sector as well. We've invested, so we have money to invest. We've invested over 10 million euros over the last couple of years into about 40 of those companies to help them scale up their ideas. In plastics, clearly we're all trying to reduce the impact of plastics, particularly around single-use items. We're actually launching a deposit return scheme across the whole of Scotland next year for all single-use drinks containers, including plastics. And we're also working with all of the municipalities across Scotland to increase the range of plastics that they are able to collect for reprocessing as part of a £70 million investment programme. We've also, though, for interest, is invested in quite a pioneering project to sort and process both mechanically and chemically a whole range of different plastics for recycling at scale. This is called Project Beacon, and what's quite innovative about it is brought together a number of different partners, different companies to work together to both maximize the opportunity and to avoid competing for the same feedstock. So accepting that a lot of the plastics are mixed together, so targeting specifically household and commercial operations. They are working on the same site in a very collaborative way, and I think that's really the demonstration of how the circular economy works. It requires that close collaboration and more integrated partnerships and supply chains. Yes, they might take a little bit more time, but the rewards are much greater and the impact more significant. So as well as that collaboration, in terms of delivering infrastructure on the ground and new systems, we also recognise that we want to share our knowledge, learn from others, get great ideas, as we've been hearing today from businesses across Europe and beyond, and share those experiences with people who are on the same journey. So this Hotspot, this tour initiative is an excellent way of doing that. And I know that when we hosted a Hotspot event in Glasgow a few years ago, obviously in person, our businesses who were there, who were able to show what they were doing, gained as much from learning from the other people who visited Glasgow as much as I'm sure the people who visited Glasgow got from the businesses. So it very much was a two-way process. So this is great. It's great to be here. It's great to be part of this initiative, and look forward, as I said, to future events, future tours, future businesses sharing what they're doing. It's fantastic, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ian. I can confirm that it was a pleasure to visit Circular Economy Hotspot in Glasgow. And it's really nice to have Zero Waste Scotland on board, especially when thinking in increasing the business connection on circularity that the project is offering. So thank you again. So, as most of you know, Catalonia is hosting the Circular Economy Hotspot next November. So now a video to taste what it's going to be about, and we hope to see you all here with us. Okay, the webinar is getting into its end, but before that, we would like to hear from Maria Lumbierres, Senior Consultant in Circular Economy in Acció, the Agency for Business Competitiveness from the Government of Catalonia. She will explain you how to increase the potential of the B2B platform and how this platform is going to be linked to the coming hotspot. But before leaving the floor to Maria, I would like to thank the incredible team that made possible this event, especially to Ingrid, Hannah, Maria, Sabrina, Marta, and of course the panelists. Thank you very much. Maria, now the floor is yours.
Hello, good morning, everybody. So I'm Maria Lumbierres. I'm working at Acció, which is the Catalan agency for the competitiveness of the SMEs. And yeah, I will share my screen. And I am also representative of the Enterprise Europe Network, which is supporting this initiative. I want to explain you that in this initiative, Circular SMEs across Europe, besides a series of webinars like this, you have also the possibility to the possibility to organize B2B meetings with other participants. This is what we call the long-term matchmaking. And then all the meetings are virtual. They take place in the platform. You can meet any registered participant. Right now, we have 120 participants from 18 countries. And there is no special days dedicated for the meetings. You can meet anytime. And there is an integrated video call tool in the platform, so it's very easy. Why you should participate in these B2B meetings? For instance, if you have found very interesting the presentations of our speakers today, you can talk to them through the platform. All the panelists today are registered in the matchmaking, and you can send meeting requests to them and talk in more details. Or you can meet potential collaboration partners or exchange knowledge and experience in circular economy. And if you go to the marketplace, you will find there very interesting opportunities. Here, I will explain you in practical how it works. All of you are registered in the B2Match platform. You have registered there to take place in this webinar. And then you have to log in your account and then go to my availability and click to available for March 15 March 15 to November 30 for the long-term matchmaking, and then you will be able to participate in the matchmaking. What is very important to take into consideration if you want to participate in the B2B meetings is that you have a complete profile. You have to describe in detail with your organization, if you are an SME, a big company, technology center, public body, or whatever. I explain the activity and the relation of this activity to the circular economy. You can do this if you go to edit my profile. And then also we recommend you to insert a marketplace opportunity. There you have the chance to describe in more detail your project, technology, product, service that you are looking for or you are offering related to the circular economy. This is important because then other participants will know who you are and which are your interests, and then you will receive more relevant meeting requests. When you have complete your profile, we will make public and visible to other participants. And now I will explain you how to request the meetings. You have to log in into your account, and then if you go to the tab participants, you will see the list of all participants that are also registered for the matchmaking, and then you can review the information they have introduced in their profile. And if you think this is interesting for you, you just go and click to request a meeting, and then you can manage all the information of your meetings. If you go to the meetings, you will have there all the information, all the meeting requests you have received, all the meeting requests you have sent. And it's important that the meeting requests are accepted from both sides. And when you accept a meeting request received, you can also then choose the length of the meeting, if 20 minutes, 15, 30 minutes, and the data and the time where the meeting will take place. Rescheduling the meetings is possible anytime, so it's not a problem. And you can find then all the scheduled meetings in the option My Agenda. So in your agenda, you will have the scheduled meetings and also the webinars for the ones you have registered. That's all from my side. Here you can find in this first link, you will have the contact details of the Enterprise Europe Network local support in your region. He or she will be happy to assist for any questions you may have. And in this second link, how it works, you will get more information about how the registration and managing of meetings in the platform works. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much. And now we have come to the end of this meeting, and I hope that this meeting this webinar have been interesting for all of you. I would like to thank you all the panelists for the very interesting and inspiring experience and projects. And also all the organizers, and for sure, thank you very much to all the participants attending this meeting. We hope to see you in the next meeting, which will be next week on 4th of June. This webinar will be focused on the construction sector, and it will be hosted, organized by the Flanders region. And thank you very much, and have a nice day.